All right, hello everybody, and welcome in. I'm WCA3 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy. We are tracking severe weather moving through parts of central Illinois here this afternoon. Yes, it is just a little bit past 12:30, and we are already dealing with that severe weather. So we want to show you what's going on here. You can see on the Storm Tracker Doppler, we've got a line that's coming into the Springfield area here right now. Let's go ahead and switch over, and you can see the very intense line of showers and thunderstorms that are pushing into the Springfield area. Almost seeing a little bit of a Boeing segment to this activity here. And severe thunderstorm warnings, winds of 70 miles an hour, and there is what is known as the tornado possible tag that is also associated with this. So it is something that we are keeping a very close eye on here as these storms continue to move off here to the east. The potential is there for very strong, damaging straight line winds. You've got the potential for, yes, a spin-up tornado. What we can do is show you what it looks like on our camera. Look at that shelf cloud coming right into Springfield. Look at the low cloud there. That is what is known as a shelf cloud. That cloud right there is going to bring with it the very strong winds on the leading edge of our line of storms, and so you're looking straight at that area right now, right over the Capitol. You can see that that view over the Capitol there where the storms are coming in Springfield. They are going to bring some very strong winds associated with them. The severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for Sangamon County until 1 p.m. So that's what it looks like as the storm is moving in to Springfield and Sangamon County right now. That is where the strongest part of the storm is. And let's take you right in. You can see right there between Gardner and the Curran area. And that storm's going to come right into downtown Springfield and the airport there as well. So a very strong thunderstorm there that could have winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour, not out of the question. Let's kind of put a little bit of a loop on this for you, and I'll show you the general direction that this storm has been moving over the last 45 minutes. We'll kind of widen it out, and you can kind of see how a lot of it is still moving off here to the east. That easterly progression of the storm is going to allow this to eventually kind of make its way here into Christian County. Here's Macon County right there. There's Decatur. And so you've got Montgomery and Macoupin counties down here. So this whole line has got some fairly strong winds with it. And this is going to continue to move off here to the east and bring with it that potential for damaging straight line winds. So here's what we'll do next to kind of show you exactly where it is going and when it may get to your area. We'll put a little bit of a path predictor on this. It's moving to the east at about 40 miles an hour. So as we plot this for you, here's just a look at some of the cities and the time of arrival. So Springfield, again, here in the next couple of minutes, it's right on top of you. Coming into Mechanicsburg by 12:57, Nokomis 104, Taylorville 1:05 p.m., Pana 1:21, Booty 1:24, and Decatur at about 1:34 p.m., about an hour from now, as if this would stay on its same track. We've also got in the field our meteorologist, Jacob Dickey. That's a live look from our storm tracker. It looks like he's just passing the Oriena exit there. And they're just near Decatur. So he is making his way there to the west, and we're going to be watching his views from our storm tracker out in the field to give you guys a live look and view of what to expect with these storms as they move through. So again, meteorologist Jacob Dickey in the storm tracker. Meteorologist Jack Gerfin is with us here in the studio as well. We'll be providing updates for you. So we're watching his view. We're going to be watching the radar. We've got our cameras. Speaking of our cameras, why don't we go back to our Springfield camera? And you can see now that shelf cloud there has taken over. So now you're going to start to get some of the rain and the very strong winds with that storm as it comes through. So you can already kind of see, some of the rain. The sky's getting a little bit darker there. Not being able to see it as well. So, and we've got a lot of people that are in and watching us here on the live stream. We thank you for tuning into the live stream here for the coverage. We're going to keep you guys updated throughout the afternoon. We've got you here. I will also make mention of this. There is a tornado warning on the very far southern end of this for Macoupin and Madison counties. This is just kind of out of our viewing area here, but we're looking down there towards Bunker Hill. A little bit of a spin up possible there. The National Weather Service in St. Louis did opt to issue a tornado warning with that storm. So we're going to watch that. Again, that's well south of our area here for the time being, but we'll have to watch as this goes off here to the east and see just exactly where it is headed. I know we've got a lot of people that are probably asking, okay, what about my area here? Well, let's show you this wide view. Here's the big wide view of things, and notice that our line is severe from about Springfield and to the south. Okay, so far this activity here north of Springfield has not been severe yet. Now here's Champaign, here's Decatur, here's Danville, Shelbyville, Taylorville. So I really would be concerned for areas kind of along I-72 and to the south. So you're looking at this area here as this line moves in. The question is, will it continue to move off to the east? Will it start diving a little bit more to the south? But we're going to watch this whole line as, once again, we'll put the loop on this, and you can see as it moves off to the east, that damaging wind threat is the highest. So you're going to see that, and you're going to see some pretty good lightning with the storms here. We can switch on the lightning, and you can see this thing is packed full of those lightning strikes. We'll just go to the current view here right now, and you can see lightning strikes there from Petersburg down through Springfield. The brighter white ones are going to be the most recent lightning strikes. The darker lightning bolt icons there are going to be more within the past kind of 10 minutes kind of thing. The white ones are going to be here within the past 5 minutes. So a lot of lightning. You can see them still popping up, especially as you get south of Springfield, Auburn, the Verdon area. Those areas really seeing a very high concentration of lightning strikes with that storm there. So again, all of this, let's take a look and see if we've got any hail. I'm not seeing a ton of hail with this, to be honest with you. So the hail threat isn't huge at this time, but we'll monitor. There could be some quarter-size hail in there. More than anything, I think we're looking at some of the stronger winds. So what we can do is actually look at the velocity. Take a look at our velocity. So these are the colors that we look at for strong winds. And let me see, what we're looking for are these brighter colors, these brighter greens. You see that there? So this brighter green would indicate possibly some really strong winds there. Let's kind of go back down into Springfield, and there's some pockets, especially here on the south side, right there. See these little pixels here? So you're on the southeast side of Springfield, down there where 72, 55 come together. And so that little pixel there shows some pretty strong winds. As a matter of fact, I think, I'm not sure if we can query what those wind speeds are or not. No, just shows us the severe thunderstorm warning. But I can tell you, it looks like there is potential there for some 60-mile-an-hour winds. Not out of the question. Right there on the southeast side of town, near Southern View. It's going to be down near Stevenson Drive. It's going to be down there by Business 55, and then going to be heading towards the Dirksen Parkway. And actually gonna cross this is gonna cross right over 55 right now, so some really strong winds probably right there on 55. This right here is probably gonna update in just a second. You're gonna see right about here some indications of winds right there. We're 29, basically we're 29, 50, I-55, the Dirksen Parkway, that whole area right there. I think on the next radar scan, what you're going to see is right about in here. Some fairly strong winds. So as I just mentioned, there's Dirksen Parkway, there's 29, and so that area there, you've got some fairly strong winds as that kind of moves off there to the east. Going to be coming there south of I-72, 60-mile-an-hour winds, definitely a possibility. Train spotter just did report a 55-mile-an-hour gust at Princeton and 10th Street in Springfield. So we've got that, but the very strong, let's take a look at this just on the reflectivity there. You can see it's right on the leading edge of that where we've got the extremely strong winds that are coming through. So the winds are really kind of kicking up here, as you can see. And as I mentioned, the severe thunderstorm warning is going to continue as this moves off to the east. So let's kind of look down the line. Illiopolis, Mechanicsburg, Mount Auburn, Edinburgh. You guys all need to be kind of just watching this line as it moves off to the east, because It's got those strong winds. We've not heard too many reports of damage yet, but we've definitely got some damage that is out there. Thanks again for everybody for tuning in here, giving you guys the latest on what to expect with the storms. We've got you covered here this afternoon as these storms move across. We'll be here with you so you can rest easy and be all right as we tell you what to expect here with this. As I mentioned, the whole team in here getting you updated on what to expect as this line moves through. Again, we'll take it back and let's see what it looks like from our camera again there in Springfield. And whoa, we can't even see now. So that was the view. Remember the view we just showed you where you could see the Capitol? The Capitol no longer visible. Take a look at that. Wow, that is some really heavy rainfall. Cannot even see what we saw just 5 minutes ago. Just sheets of rain there and zero visibility. So that just shows you how heavy the rain is. That's our storm tracker. That's Jake up there out on the road. He is, again, going to be there probably just past Decatur. And so he's going to be catching up with this line here in the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. So we'll be watching him as well. Back to the line of storms that we've got. And there it is with the severe thunderstorm warnings. There's your tornado warning still in effect here for extreme southern Macoupin County and then into Madison County there. Small little spin up, not out of the question. Now, we're not anticipating, a ton of this, but there's definitely some rotation. What I can do is I'll show you why they've issued this warning. It's pretty clear. You're going to see some of these reds and these greens kind of coming together a little bit more down where this warning is in effect. And it's in that area here where we're seeing some of that just south of Bunker Hill. So that general area there is kind of the concern for possibly a little spin-up tornado. And that's going to move towards the Staunton area here in the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. So we'll be kind of watching that down to the south. All of the warnings in effect are mainly severe thunderstorm warnings, except for the tornado warning you see there. You got from Carlinville back to the north, Pawnee. You guys are seeing that. And as I mentioned there, right along I-55 now, I'm going to switch back to the velocity because there's that area I was showing you with the enhanced kind of wind field. That brighter color there indicates the stronger wind south of the Clear Lake area. So that's going to track right there along and south of I-72 for the most part. And we're going to have to watch that area there because it continues to show some fairly strong winds with it. That's probably your 60-mile-an-hour winds right on the leading edge. That's going to, again, pass close to I-72 because 72 there, it looks like this may be trying to move just a little bit to the north and east. So this actually may kind of come up and along here south of Riverton. And so that's your strongest winds, but that whole thing has got some fairly strong winds along with it. But we're looking for those little pockets of the brighter colors. Just northwest of Sherman, there's another one right there along 124. That's got some strong winds. And then there's the other one just south of Clear Lake and I-72 as it moves off here to the east. Back to the reflectivity that shows that whole line. Again, this is not your typical, supercell day. This is your squall line, what we call an MCS, that essentially has the best chance to produce damaging straight line winds associated with it, 60-mile-an-hour winds, with the possibility of what we call a QLCS tornado, which is basically a fancy acronym there for a tornado embedded in a line of storms that can quickly spin up. And it doesn't give you a lot of warning, but it's definitely something to watch. And I am watching that area there, just south of Riverton, because we're starting to get a little bit of an appendage, little hook there. We want to kind of watch out for that right there, south of Clear Lake. And so we're going to watch this right in that area there. There is definitely some winds in there right now. There's not super strong areas of rotation, but definitely something that we're going to just watch here and see how it develops, because, as I mentioned, those little quick spin-up tornadoes can occur, and that's going to come right there along I-72. And what do you know? Along I-72 here in a moment is meteorologist Jacob Dickey. That's going to be showing us, what's going on over there and his location in the storm tracker. I just saw him pass an exit there. I'm not sure which one it was, but we'll be able to get him in on this here in a moment as well. And Jack, you're here with us now. Jack is here. And Jack, what do you got over there?
Well, I just wanted to say, and you've got yours up right now, we've got that one warning. The Macoupin County warnings, besides the tornado warning, they've been pulled. So we have just now, instead of technically 4 warnings that we had, we now have just 2. We have the severe thunderstorm warning, pretty much solely maintained or solely contained into Sangamon County currently. And then we have that tornado warning for the radar indication there down in Macoupin County. But heavy torrential rains with this storm as it comes on through. You're going to have gusty winds regardless of whether there's a warning with it or not. But again, that's what heavy rain will do.
See the Capitol coming back into picture after not being able to see it.
Yeah, it was, this, like you said, it's your typical squall line. So it's going to have the strong winds with them, the straight line winds primarily. Can't rule out, like you said, one of those QLCS tornadoes. But heavy rain is going to be also with this too. And to be honest, we do kind of need the rain. It's been a little dry here recently.
Yeah.
If you've got still have to mow your lawn along I-57 and east of there, you've got a solid, I'd say about hour, 2 hours at the very least. So you're good there. Closer to Decatur, for example, you're going to have a little bit more in the way of issues getting that done. But right now, just watching that strong line of storms coming on through.
Yep, strong line of storms there with this complex that's going to move off to the east. And let's see here. The severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another 12 minutes for Sangamon County. I think our own meteorologist Jacob Dickey is actually going to start heading a little bit south.
Yeah.
Because he wants to catch this. This is kind of the strongest part of the line here that's starting to show up. And he's going to probably shoot down 51 there. I don't know if he got on 51 or not.
That's what he said.
And maybe shooting down towards Moequa to Assumption. So he's going to be positioned in the line here. We'll take him again, crossing some railroad tracks down there. And it looks like, looks like he was on 28 there. So he may be taking another route to get down there. But he's going to be positioning himself to get in position to catch that line as it kind of comes in.
And also interesting of note too, we've got a few cells that have popped up ahead of the main line itself. So we'll have to kind of see how that plays in there as well. Sometimes a storm that gets engulfed by the main line can sometimes add a little bit of some intensity to it, sometimes a little bit of some extra rotation with it too. So to look out for that potential. As of right now, not seeing much in the way of anything too spectacular with those, but always though, storm interaction is always kind of one of those things we have to just keep an eye on.
Looks like we got a little bit of wind damage. Well, the wind damage report that came in was lawn furniture, trash cans displaced.
Oh, nice.
Small twigs broken. So, well, I wouldn't call that damage, but displacement of some local items there.
Looks like they kind of shrunk down that little tornado warning. They may have kind of just made a little update to that. But
so again, all along our line here, we're looking kind of along south of I-72 here as this moves across. The big question, I know you got people here in Danville asking us, Mattoon, Charleston. So this is still, a good, hour or two away from over here. And then, so the more immediate threat, you're talking Lincoln down to Taylorville, and eventually Decatur there. But that's going to be kind of the area of highest concern that we've got with our storms as they are moving through the area. And we'll come back over to our camera view. So there's Springfield again. So what we'll do is,
you can see the sunshine.
The
Check that out.
sun trying to peek through. So what we'll do is then reposition and get our camera ready to go for Decatur. Let's see what Decatur looks like, because then we'll look off here. All right, so I think we need to move the camera around a little bit. So it looks like here, while I move the camera, we'll take Jacob's camera. So he looks like he's stopped there.
Stopped.
So do we? Let's see here. Can we get Jacob's audio? I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's in touch. I don't know if he's with us here or not. I don't know if he can hear us. Why don't
I'll
you
text
shoot him a little text
Yeah.
and let's see if he can chat with us or not. And then we'll have a little better idea of what his location is here right now. So that's his view. Looks like he's cleaning off his windshield wipers there right now.
Well, I went and got gas for him, and I did scrape off a lot of bugs.
Yeah,
so-
there's a ton of bugs
Yeah.
on there. It looks like maybe he just pulled over to clean off his windshield there. So yeah, just see if he's got any kind of communication.
Yep.
And we'll just talk to him and see what's going on in his neck of the woods there. And then we've got the storm tracker here with our line of storms. That's coming right there. Taylorville, boy, I'll be on the lookout there. You're going to have some really heavy rainfall, some possible strong winds in there. The one area, though, that continues to pique my interest is actually north. It's still this little guy here near Dawson, between Riverton and Dawson, that
It's got that little
yeah. Then when we look at it,
Jacob's calling. I'm gonna
okay,
mute
So,
my mic.
Yeah, you're good. We've got here is, see this little area right there. So there's your little stronger area of winds that we've got. So really, really strong winds there just along I-72. That's going to be coming right into the Dawson area near Buffalo. So that's going to be one area that we're going to watch because that looks to be fairly strong as it's kind of coming in here. So along I-72, just east of Riverton, Dawson to Buffalo, all of that. So we're going to watch for very strong winds there. If you've got any reports of any damage that's occurred, so again, we're just going to keep an eye right there. That little notched area there, there's not a ton of rotation with it, but I think there's definitely some very, very strong winds right there near the Dawson area and going to be kind of moving across between Riverton and Mechanicsburg. Is he?
He's ready.
Okay.
I think what we have to do is we have to play it through our microphone.
Oh, okay.
Because aren't we doing it through Max 1?
Well, we could actually take his TVU over here
Okay.
and just punch him up here. So what we'll do is, Jacob, we're gonna go ahead and fire you up here on our TVU, and then let you go ahead and tell us your location and your plan of kind of where you are headed.
Okay, perfect. Hey, y'all hear me? I can't hear Kevin right now. I can hear Jack talking to me, but just so y'all know, I stopped there at the Taylorville Highway 48 exit on 51 here. I'm heading back south on 51. We're going to cut in front of these storms. I kind of wanted to sit and wait and see what the National Weather Service was planning on doing. There's not really an obvious target today with the line of storms. You get those quick spin-ups in there, and so we're kind of watching to see what the best plan of action is, but I think dropping a little bit south is going to be the best thing. And it looks like they just dropped that severe thunderstorm warning. So all we're dealing with then is that little sliver of the tornado warning in far southern Macoupin County. So we're just going to sit in front so you can see it. We'll watch that camera in the backside too, keep you all updated and be rolling along. We'll head down to Weweka Assumption. Eventually, I think the plan will be to cut to the east towards Lake Shelbyville, Mattoon, Charleston before all is said and done. So that's what we're doing out here. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Very good. Jacob there, thanks for the update there on your location and where you are headed. That again is the view that you're seeing from the storm tracker right now as he is going to be following along with that storm. All right, here we go. Here's a look at the storm tracker Doppler again. Here's our line of storms. So the storms have actually passed the Springfield area here. They've expired the warning for Sangamon County. But I think we've got a new
We have a new tornado warning.
tornado warning
Yes.
on the south. Yeah, so they've they've continued
Extended
this,
that.
made it a lot larger there on the south part of Macoupin, Madison, Montgomery, Bond counties. So what we're going to do, I'm going to switch on our Doppler to St. Louis. And then what we're going to do is kind of look at some of that rotation there. Oh, okay, so there you go. Pretty good rotation on that storm, which is why they've taken this and continued the tornado warning. So there it is. You can really see it. Some strong winds with that. And you're looking at this area right through here. Let me zoom out a little bit. You can see that, see kind of some of those reds and those greens getting close to one another. Just kind of north of Prairie Town. That is the area of concern where there is the potential for a tornado. In right there, you've got Macoupin, Montgomery, Madison, Bond counties, tornado warning. It's radar indicated right now, but it is definitely an area to keep a close eye on. Okay, so that is the biggest concern right now because they've not actually carried over any of the other severe thunderstorm warnings. So you've got that area down there. I mean, as long as that rotation kind of continues, they're going to continue to keep that tornado warning on that cell. So again, that is on the extreme far southern edge of our area, but it is just kind of goes to show that these little spin-ups can kick out some rotation with it, and you might get a little tornado. So that's kind of what you're looking at down here, southwest of the Staunton area, and that'll continue to move off there to the east. So we'll go ahead and clear all of this off and bring you back to a kind of a wide view of things and put the loop on this here in the past 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's just down there.
Yeah, just down there. So the warnings no longer in effect here as you look at areas there east of Springfield. So between Illiopolis down to Taylorville, this area through here, we'll watch this. They've not warned on it yet. I think we're kind of right teetering on the edge. We're at that kind of 55 mile per hour range. So the only warnings in effect are the tornado warning that we're tracking here to the south. And that's going to come right into, as I mentioned, the Staunton area right now, the rotation with that. And going to be just south of Litchfield, south of the Hillsborough area. But there is definitely some of that rotation. Let me see if I can't punch up my other computer and show you guys. There we go. So here's what we're looking at with this, and I'm going to zoom this in just a little bit. So we're going to do a little analysis on our system here of the tornado warned storm. And this is where we're looking at some of the rotation. So as I get this all set up, put this over here, and boom. Okay, so here's a kind of a wider view of our storms here. So there's Springfield up here, okay, and you got Taylorville, but well south of that, and along I-55, just across I-55, north of the Warden area. I was actually down there a few weeks ago watching some storms. But this is an area of concern for some rotation that we're looking at. So right there near the Staunton area, see this right here? See these reds and these greens kind of getting close to one another? That's some of the rotation that you can see. The rotation with the storm that could produce a tornado, which is why they've continued the warning. And let's see here. You're seeing rotation. I'm just looking at some other parameters here, but these are your two typical ones that we always show you. So right there, and going to be near Livingston, not Livingston County, but Livingston, Illinois, along Highway 4. So Highway 4, that runs north and south. That's this road right here. Okay, and then of course you've got I-55. That's back over here. So there's 55, and that's Highway 4. And that's going to be moving off there to the east. And the tornado threat will kind of move right along here. So this really is kind of out of our viewing area, right on the edge, extreme southern Macon and, or I should say, Macoupin and Montgomery counties. So we're going to watch this here, see where this guy goes.
And that's the reason why, even though it's a tornado warning, why we're not on TV currently, because it's barely in our viewing area.
Yeah, super south, the viewing area.
Yep.
Oh, oops. Whoopsie. And so way fringe. And technically, I mean, I guess that warning might technically be in the county there, or the tornado itself might be in the county. It's almost like on the county line.
Yeah.
Right there where you would have that. But nonetheless, it's something to watch, and then watch some of these other cells here as well. And we'll just switch back over to our one panel here. So there's your storms coming in there. Some pretty good winds there.
Yep, some gusty winds there for sure. I'd say especially coming in probably just south of Taylorville too.
Yeah, definitely near Taylorville. Switch back to our Lincoln radar here as it reloads up for us. And we'll come back down in. And so there's Taylorville right now. It's probably getting pretty noisy. And again, lots of lightning with this. Then we go back up here to the north, Mount Auburn. There's Mechanicsburg. There's Buffalo and Dawson, I was mentioned before. So Illiopolis coming in here soon. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be repositioning our camera here momentarily in Decatur to get a little bit of a view of that line, and it'll be similar to what we had before, probably that shelf cloud view that we'll see. And so as I move our camera around to capture that view, you're looking again there at the storm tracker, or the Doppler radar there that we've got fired up. The skies out there looking a little ominous indicator, and I'm just gonna, I'll go ahead and just fire up the camera view now so you can kind of see it. So there we back our indicator, and I'm going to pan this camera around a little bit. And so the shelf cloud's still just a little bit off in the distance, but you can kind of see, I wouldn't necessarily call those momentous clouds, but they're kind of close to that. But let's pan over here to the left, and you're going to see off in the distance just the beginnings of that shelf cloud way off there. And so that'll start coming closer to us, and we'll probably have a little kind of a cooler looking view to that coming up here in just a little bit.
And I would say Kevin, that actually I will, let me switch it over to mine over
go
here.
Ahead. Go ahead.
Because the models have done a terrible job earlier on figuring out what was going on, and now they actually have now kind of latched on with the current layout of our storms, and it shows that this will kind of bow out, then begin to move really more to the southeast, and at that point we may not have much more in the way of severe storms anymore.
They just blanketed a brand new warning.
Yeah, I just saw that big old warning, so I'll switch you back over. But I was curious that the models are now hinting that, well, we could still have some showers and storms overnight tonight for sure.
But this line's pretty much it.
I think this will kill any chance later on of development.
So I will tell you this, with this new warning, it does have the tornado possible tag on the whole thing.
Yep, I got my radar up right now, and so you can see that we've been using this different kind of color palette that we've used for our warnings, and so typically your severe thunderstorm warning has always just been yellow, but this one kind of has a little bit of an orange take on it, and the reason is that it has what is called the tornado possible tag with it. And so this is a big old warning. You've got multiple counties in here. Sangamon County, Macon County, Christian County, Shelby County, even into DeWitt County, Logan County. So you've got a lot of them there, and I'll post it on our Facebook as a standalone image here in just a moment. But that tornado possible tag does mean that you have the chance for the brief spin-ups that are going to be possible with this. So this will be something you have to keep an eye on. Again, this warning, let me get it to load up here, goes until 2 o'clock. So it's a big warning here that includes multiple counties until 2 o'clock. Still has 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch in diameter hail. But the kind of interesting part about that is the tornado possible tag at the bottom of that warning. This whole thing is moving off to the east at around 35, 40 miles an hour, and it's going to cover quite a big area within the heart of central Illinois. Let me see what we've got for any more of the specifics here. In terms of the speed of it, about 40 miles an hour to the east. So
it's maintained that it's been 40 miles an hour for quite some time, so
correct.
It's not really speeding up or slowing down a whole lot.
Correct. I will switch you back.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so back here again, it is 1:08 p.m. We are bringing you live coverage of severe weather as a very strong line of storms is moving through parts of central Illinois. A brand new, very large, this is a very large severe thunderstorm warning. So this actually encompasses the southeastern corner of Logan County, the southwestern corner of DeWitt County, a very large chunk of Macon County, much of Christian County, the northwestern part of Shelby County, and the eastern kind of, little panhandle there of Sangamon County there along I-72. So it's along this line here where there is that threat for very strong winds, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and that tornado possible tag, potential for a tornado to spin up along the line that you're looking at there. So here's again that little bit of a loop that'll show you what it looks like here in the past 45 minutes as it's moving off here to the east. So Decatur, yep, you're going to start to see the skies getting quite a bit darker, and then as you work your way into eastern portions of Christian County as well. All of the locations there are going to be something we're going to want to watch for, especially right here along and south of I-72. So that little area there, that little notched area, we'll have to watch that, see if there's any rotation associated with it, because there is that potential for that to occur, and we may have some severe weather or maybe even a tornado warning that could get issued as a result. So let's kick it back over. So that is actually the view from Jacob's camera.
Gonna go on if you don't mind.
Let's go. I've got his camera up, and so Jacob, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and fire up your audio there.
Jacob,
tell us what you are seeing there right now.
We are just outside of Mowequa here. We just passed the south side of town. We saw Kevin's water tower, his favorite thing here in town, on the side. So we're looking off to the south and west here, kind of around the. As you can start to make out in the distance there, the shelf cloud on the right side of your screen there, looking a little low, a little gnarly. There's been quite a bit of lightning with it here too. Don't have any indication locally that there would be any sort of tornado here based on radar in my observations, but still, when you see a shelf cloud like this, that's a sign there's usually going to be some strong gusty winds here. And so that's what we're going to continue to watch here. We're watching up areas, and we'll watch for maybe some 50 to 60 mile an hour winds with this particular storm. But from where I'm at here in Mowequa, there's nothing that indicates to me that we'll have an immediate tornado here. Still, that tornado possible tag is out for this particular cell. But I think the plan, what we will do is we'll follow this. I am still kind of interested also in that cell that's back in Montgomery County also. on that path, that might be a southern Shelby, Effingham County issue. And so kind of interested to get down that way, but we'll probably stay on 51 here, get down to Assumption, cut over to Findlay and Windsor towards Lake Shelbyville area and see what happens with this line here and continue to watch things. So probably in the next 10 to 15 minutes, as this line overtakes 51, we'll see really quick how the winds are here. The winds will be blowing from going south, and so we'll have crosswinds in the highway here, and I think you'll get a good vantage point of it. So we'll continue to watch it and keep an update on it. In the meantime, I'll be in Maweekwa driving south here once I get back on the road. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, very good. Thank you so much, Jacob. We will continue to watch your view there in the storm tracker. Stay safe out there, and we will get another update for you. Okay, back to the storm tracker Doppler. You can see the very large severe thunderstorm warned cell that has the tornado possible tag associated with it. There's the tornado warning that's south of our area. They're into right along I-55 there, not east of the Staunton area. And that was moving off to the east. Okay, let's come back up here. Taylorville, you just had pretty strong. I'm going to switch over to the velocity here just to kind of look at some of the winds. And so here's what's kind of interesting here that we want to keep a close eye on. We're starting to get a little bit of those reds trying to kick in here, okay? And so when you start getting some of those reds and greens close to one another, you got to start looking for some little notches that can occur. So we're going to have to start watching this a little closer. Because some indications that you're starting to get a little rotation on these storms in a few areas. There's a little guy down there. Jacob actually could be in a decent position down there if you see this area right here. Okay, if that continues to kind of show some of its signs of rotation with it. He's here in Assumption, and so we'll watch this here. That's going to, that's 29 that comes out of Taylorville to the south and east. And so we'll just kind of see what that little area does as it moves off here kind of to the east and northeast. And that's just kind of the view we've got on the Storm Tracker Doppler. I'm not seeing any kind of notched areas there, but quickly those can spin up. More than anything, you're talking some big time winds. Essentially what you've got here are winds that are going to be pushing into this storm, and sometimes you get these little bowing segments that can occur, and all along this whole line is essentially where you can have damaging straight line winds. All right, let's come back to our Decatur camera. Okay, so kind of starting to see a little bit there of that shelf cloud.
It actually looks, there's actually a better view over here. Yeah, the shelf cloud is definitely visible. It looks, Cincinnati, Ohio is calling me. I've had a lot of spam calls today. I don't know why.
Spam calls today there.
Yeah, so you can see the shelf cloud, in fact, pretty easily. The contrast is also looking to be a little bit better too in terms of the dark clouds with the kind of the turquoisey blue coming in behind it as well. And that's just usually indicative of the leading edge of the strong winds. So once that gets close to you, you're going to have your strong winds happening. And you also have some of the kind of ragged clouds that come on through too underneath the bottom of that. Those are what are called Scud Clouds. And so they themselves aren't really anything noteworthy, but they can look scary at times.
Jacob's got a pretty good shot
yeah,
too.
Yeah, so take that.
Come back to his.
Shot, yeah.
So yeah, so he's kind of closer to that. So now you can see that as soon as those trees and what is that? Is that a
train?
Rail? Yeah, it's a train right there. There we go. A little bit better view there. Look at that. You can see it on his screen there. Kind of a cool shot of the. Look at that.
Looks good.
Yeah, that's.
So that's your typical shelf cloud, which makes sense in a line of storms like this.
Yeah. So again, that's Jacob. He is down there. He did say he was last in Assumption, right? Is that?
Yeah.
His last location was there. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on his shot. We've got the shot here from our Decatur camera looking out there to the west as well as that line of storms comes barreling through. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2 o'clock for Christian DeWitt. Logan making Sangamon and Shelby County till 2 p.m. Again, a tornado possible with this. So if you're in Decatur right now, definitely batten down the hatches. Come back to the radar view here again. What we'll do next is, I haven't done this in a second, so we'll put a little bit of a storm path on this. Give you any ideas. It moves off to the east around 40 miles an hour. Plot the towns for you. Here's your towns. Blue Mound here in the next 4 minutes. Pana in the next 10 minutes. You got Booty in the next 12 minutes or so. To the Decatur Airport around 1:43. Shelbyville 1:49. Sullivan 1:59. So on and so forth as this whole line moves off to the east. So those are the areas of highest concern. I know we've got some people asking about, okay, what about XYZ town? Oh, here's another cool shot. Let's go back to Jacob's View. Really cool shot there. There he is now.
Yep, so he's on a little farm road right now, but he's going to get close to it, and he's going to do what we call getting rolled, I'm assuming. He's just going to have it go right over him.
Yep, that's right. Going to punch the core there.
Yep.
And so so what you're looking at there essentially is the leading edge of, so there you go.
There we go.
He's pulled over. So that is the leading edge of that line of storms. And can you ask him what's his exact location?
Let me ask you the exact location.
Yeah, we'll get an exact location from him. And so he is right there on that leading edge of the line of storms. And what you get are those very gusty winds that can occur as that storm moves in. And the down, what we call the downdraft part of the storm. And he's going to get that. But a little interesting area there to keep a close eye on. You can if you just watch, you can see that it's moving at him. Just here, I'll just be quiet for a second. You can kind of just look at it and kind of concentrate on the clouds there, and you can kind of see how quick that they're moving.
And just one more note, Jacob is north of Assumption.
Okay.
He's 2 miles north of Assumption.
Gotcha. So just here, take a look there, and you can see. Watch that cloud rolling in. So there's his view as he kind of repositions there. He might get overtaken. He might be trying to stay ahead there. Okay, so now he's got kind of the back view, his back camera, looking through the back window, which is going to be a little bit darker for him because of the camera there. But
you can see the good contrast
Yep.
of the clouds.
there's that kind of what a lot of people almost sometimes call a big alien spaceship.
Yep.
That's coming in. That's the Decatur view, looking out there to the west.
And the lowering that you see there on our Decatur camera is still more of those Scud Clouds, but they can sometimes look a little scary as they're kind of swirling around. There wasn't a whole lot of rotation at Decatur's cell. I don't think that there was.
Not seeing a whole lot of rotation.
The rotation, if there would be any, was going to be
Well, there's all kinds of little areas there that are now trying to.
Yep, they're trying to start something.
Start something along there, but we've got a really good view of this.
I think Jacob's got actually probably the best little spot right there, just north of Assumption.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be. He's going to be in good area, but that's a great looking shot from our weather camera there. A lot of scud clouds on that
just
one.
A little bit over and kind of, so you can kind of see how you kind of lose the definition of that a little bit, but we'll come back over to the left. So that whole thing is a big kind of shelf there.
And it's close enough now to where we have some lightning that does show up on there too.
Yep, so there it is, shelf cloud moving into Decatur right now. Obviously some scary looking clouds there. You're going to get the strong winds right on the leading edge of this line as it moves through. All right, back to Jacob's view. He's repositioned. Got a great view. There it is. This is the shelf cloud. Again, there's a difference between a shelf cloud and a wall cloud. Wall clouds are rotating, often signs, the precursor to a tornado. This has a little bit more of a shelf look to it. Again, this is 2 miles to the north of Assumption,
Assumption,
of his location, and so you can just see the raindrops there. So what will happen is if he doesn't reposition himself, he's going to get into the very heavy rainfall from this and the strong winds. But so that thing is just coming across that farm field. You can see the view that he's giving us here right now from the storm tracker, 2 miles north of Assumption. Not seeing rotation. You're seeing the linear movement to this as it moves off here to the east. This thing is moving almost kind of due east right now.
Yep, about 40 miles an hour.
A 40 mile per hour movement off to the east. And we're going to watch that kind of come right over the top of him. You can see on the bottom part of the screen some of the grass and whatnot kind of waving there in the wind, and it'll get stronger as soon as that comes right over the top of Jacob's location in the storm tracker right now. Again, that's a live view from our S&K Exteriors storm tracker that is out there tracking the storms for us here.
And I think if you, I kind of have a pretty clear look at his camera over here, and that looks good too. I think you can kind of see a little bit of some dust getting kicked up with Jacob's
on
shot.
his view.
Kind of like off in the horizon. It kind of just looks like a little dusty.
Sure.
So that might be what he encounters here momentarily.
Yeah. So he's seeing that view. There, he's north of Assumption. Our other camera there we just showed you is in Decatur. So here's Decatur. As that shelf cloud moves in with the strong winds, here's 2 miles north of Assumption in the storm tracker. And yeah, like you said, maybe some of that dust or something getting kicked up in some of the fields.
Yeah, in some of the fields. Yeah. Okay, he is now moving.
Okay, we'll kick back over here to our Decatur camera.
So Jacob was out taking some pictures of it.
Yeah.
Kevin, if you want to pull up your, I can drive over here while you get your phone ready. You want to do that?
You go ahead and you want to go ahead and iPad or Apple TV into.
Yeah.
Here, what we can do is I'm pretty sure that I've got it set up. Can you just pull up the iPad scene?
Yep.
And then you can mirror your phone on there. Yeah. And so we're gonna. He just took some pretty cool pictures that show that shelf cloud kind of moving in. And Jack will share those with you here in just a bit.
I can
Is
connect to it.
Yes.
Oh.
You should. What? Oh, can you not?
I mean, I'm Android, so I don't know. I don't think that would work.
Okay. That's fine. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I can do it.
I've got a good camera, but I can't connect to that. But I do have it up right now on Max 1. So let me.
Well, now I'm unable to connect. So maybe we'll just we'll watch this view here of this shelf cloud kind of coming right into Decatur, because that is a pretty cool shot that we've got right now. I may have to try to connect via the iPad here first again.
Yeah, so if you want to do that, I can kind of just explain. So yep, the shelf cloud's coming right into Decatur currently. You've got some of those very low clouds, and that's, like I said, the Scud Clouds. But it also shows that there's a lot of condensation that's occurring in the atmosphere as well, because you've got the mixture of the warm and cool air with it. But this is coming right on through downtown Decatur, and in fact, it's moving at about 40 miles an hour or so to the east. So along with this, you're going to have the potential here for some strong storms, or strong wind gusts, I should say, and also begin to, as it gets closer, we'll probably have more in the way of some lightning showing up as well. But since it's kind of bright out in the middle of the afternoon, it may not be the intense flashes that we've seen when we had our severe weather from a couple weeks ago. But yeah, some great looking pictures coming in here through our Carriage Crossings weather camera on our Flooring America iNet. And once that cloud passes by, the winds are going to pick up there, and then it won't be too long after that that the rain showers will begin. And as we saw from our Springfield camera a little bit ago, it can be pretty heavy at times. So
yeah, I'm going to guess that our view, once again here in a little bit, we won't be able to see much.
Yeah.
Not seeing, any lowerings, not seeing, any kind of rotation.
No wall clouds or anything like that. It's just your standard, as of right now, it just looks like your standard shelf cloud coming on through. Looks like Jacob's getting himself repositioned. I can switch him over right now. Oh, I see what's going on.
Here, I can.
I got you. I got him.
Got it.
So this is Jacob right now, and so now the storm is rolling him now. That's what we call it. So he is now in the thick of things, just a little bit north of Assumption. He's got the heavy rains that are now there, and again, this is the same storm that's coming into Decatur currently. So we've got two marker image Decatur. The reason why it looks like that is because it's looking off to the west. It's looking into the storm, and it's going to have a lot of raindrops in there. It's going to make it look darker, whereas Jacob is right on the edge. And so as a result of that, you've got the cool, bright picture. You got the cool, bright skies on one side and the dark colored of the storm on the other side there.
I got that
I got you back
picture.
up now. Yep.
Yeah, so there's the picture that Jacob took earlier as the storm was coming right over the top of him just before, and you kind of see the really dark colors there, almost even a slight greenish tint into the sky there as well, which sometimes can indicate maybe a little bit of small hail there. But that's that leading edge. That was coming just 2 miles north of Assumption as he was rolling in there.
Also, just noteworthy, that tornado warning is now gone.
Tornado warning not in effect anymore.
Correct.
For down to the south. Okay,
Correct.
so we
Yep.
just got this one long line that's again rolling into Decatur right now. Here's the view again from Jacob's view once again in the storm tracker. And since we haven't showed you the radar in a second, here comes the radar view once again. With the line, maybe a slight weakening, a little bit in there, potentially.
Just a little bit of weakening, not as much in the way of red reflectivity showing up there as much, but there's definitely a lot of rain with that, that's for sure.
Heavy rainfall, and I believe quite a bit of lightning here.
Yep.
I'm just going to switch on the lightning to all of this here as well. Boy, that lightning is going to be packing a punch. Because the last time we checked, there was a whole slew. There we go. There's all the lightning strikes, as you can see. So up near Warrensburg, west of Harristown, west of Booty, some of the lightning strikes, even some of the lightning strikes lagging behind the actual line there. But Mowequa, there's a lightning strike there near Assumption there as well. We'll come back over and show you Jacob's camera. You can see the heavy rainfall, the dark skies there showing up in his location. And he is traveling. Did he say his last known direction of travel?
I do not know.
Okay.
Since he's driving now, I'll wait.
Decatur camera. There's our Decatur camera again.
So the shelf is now past the camera. It's
So-
probably right over it right now.
Yep. So now you're going to start to get the heavy rainfall here, which will potentially limit our viewing of things. I will say this: the northern edge of this line that just barely clips DeWitt County, we're not seeing a whole lot of more building to the north of that. So if you kind of look at this line here, what I'll do is kind of draw out, if this would just keep going to the east, you're talking about areas, here, in between those two kind of lines that I drew, where you'd actually have some of the severe potential to continue. So Champaign, you have that potential to, maybe you miss out on this line here because we're not seeing a whole lot here to the north. Definitely Ford and Iroquois County, you're not going to see a whole lot there because, this line is not developed much more to the north. So you've got the potential for those strong gusty winds down there near Pana here in the next few minutes, down the line Shelbyville, Tower Hill, and then as you get closer to Dalton City, Mount Zion, as that line moves off here to the east, here's once again the view. We'll put a little 30-minute loop on this. You can see that easterly trajectory that the storms are taking. So now just coming into Decatur. Now, again, here's our view from our Flooring America Carriage Crossing camera as the storms race off here to the east. Thanks to everybody who has tuned in here and continue to watch our live streaming coverage of the severe weather that is moving through central Illinois here on this Thursday afternoon. Back over to Jacob's camera. There's his view. Looks like he got out ahead of this a little bit. I'm not seeing the rain showing up, so he must be just ahead. Severe thunderstorm warning does continue here. Weather Service putting out an update to the warning, and I'll read it off to you as you watch our S&K Exterior Storm Tracker view. Here's the text data straight from the National Weather Service regarding the latest severe thunderstorm warning. The warning continues to be in effect here until 2 p.m. At 1:27, they located a severe thunderstorm that was extending from near Kinney to near Macon to near Nokomis, moving to the east at about 40 miles per hour. Biggest threats are 60-mile-an-hour winds and some quarter-size hail. If you are near Mount Zion, Long Creek, and Oriena, it's going to be on top. Assumption around 150, Tower Hill 155, Shelbyville by around 2:10 p.m. Back to the Decatur camera again, and again you can see the rainfall that is starting to kick up there a little bit more. There has been just an ever so slight weakening, at least from what we can kind of tell here on our radar view of this, but still fairly strong. I'm going to switch back over to our other radar now. That shows that line coming in to Decatur right now, past Harristown, coming there on the west side. It's going to be coming over 51 here in the next minute or two. So Forsyth, you'll be soon in on this as well. And then it's coming into the Macon area as we speak, over 51 there on the southwest side. Moweaqua on top of you, Assumption on top of you there as well, and coming into the Pana area. So you can see there's that line moving off here to the east. It's kind of a little bit of a loop on it. So yeah, down the line, Maroa, Forsyth, even more, Monticello, Sullivan, okay, Bethany, Dalton City, Lovington, Hammond, Atwood, all of those locations could soon be impacted as this line moves off to the east.
I'm just looking at see if, as of right now, it looks like there's not as many of those little, with our velocity, there's not as many of those little individual spots. It's just kind of now like a straight, just line with just only a few little kinks in it for going right through Decatur, the southern half of Macon County, and then I've got on my view over here.
Yep, go ahead.
I've got the wide view, and so this is what we have right now with our wide view storm tracker Doppler. A lot of activity from our area down through Missouri, and then back down into Oklahoma, where there's a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. The reason why I'm showing that is because there's still the potential for some storms to begin to fire up across portions of Iowa. There's actually also a lot of some sunshine poking through as well. But the big question is going to be, what did these storms just do to the environment? Did it stir things up, or did it leave it in a place where we can get a brief little recharge of some sunshine, and then maybe that is able to come on through and produce more storms? We're going to have to kind of wait and see on that one. But Kevin, I would usually say with storms coming through at around 1:30 in the afternoon that this is probably going to be it here for like at least 12 hours, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you know I
like,
mean,
usually these kind of kill anything.
They really do. I mean, sometimes an atmosphere can recharge, but I don't see that happening. I think there's still going to be some storms, but I don't think we're going to get any more warnings after, say, 4 o'clock today, and maybe even earlier than that, as this whole line moves off to the east. So that's what we're looking at here. We will. The big question will be, okay, as this line starts to exit Macon County and head into Piatt and Moultrie County, will they carry the warning a little bit more to the east or not? It looks like there is a little bit of, and I tell you what, how about that? Some storm damage coming into us now.
Yep, you see that one from Sangamon County?
Yeah, and that was exactly where earlier I was saying, hey, we're seeing some pixels here And let's see if I can't even go back. It was down there near the Southern View area. So you see that right there near Southern View? I'm going to actually take the radar back a few. Right there. Okay. That right there is where they've got a little bit of damage. They're talking about some power lines and trees down in the roadway. And what I want to do is also co-locate that with the velocity view. We'll take you back because it was right there. Look at that right there.
Yep,
Okay.
those little pixels.
See those pixels right there? Right there. And they are saying that it was 1 mile northeast of Southern View. So that pretty much is right there. So that looks like to be the area that they've had a little bit of damage with a few power lines. That's going to be there just west of the Dirksen Parkway and just west of I-55 and just north there of where 72 and 55 kind of come together in Stevenson Drive. So that's the one damage report that we've had. There could be more.
Correct.
Those reports just take a while to come funneling in, but that's what we had from earlier with these storms. So again, maybe a little bit of a weakening here, especially not seeing a whole lot of impressive activity there from Maroa down to Forsyth. Maybe a little stronger there coming into Mount Zion right now, out at the Decatur Airport, literally just minutes away from you, and then back down here. Going to be coming towards the Dalton City area here before too long.
We got more storms that have popped up into Fayette County, and they're going to get swallowed up by the main line of storms. So there may be some brief intensification in that kind of area right there. At that point, that's going to be your southernmost edge of the leading edge of the wind. So that might be the area that gets a little stronger here initially. But as you just look at the overall loop, though, it definitely just does not look as impressive as it once did, which is a good thing. You want it to weaken.
Okay. I'm going to switch back over to Jacob's camera here. He must be in some rural areas. We're kind of getting a shot coming in and out, in and out. Maybe we'll try to, yeah. All right, we'll have to come back to him. So there's that heavy rainfall coming into Decatur right now. All right, now his shot has seemed to have stabilized a bit. As soon as I take it, it freezes.
Yeah.
But you can still see he's showing there on the backside there, kind of that little shelf cloud there on the backside. So still a little bit of structure to the storm there. And as soon as I shut off his camera view, I'm sure he'll pop back up. And he did. Isn't that funny? How about that? Okay, there we go. There's his view. Got out of those trees. Needed to get out of those trees. So you can see the shelf cloud there.
So he's leaving it behind him.
Yeah, so it's behind him now. That's the back camera. So you can see that shelf there. That is the leading edge, once again, of the storms. So we've had that one report. I don't know if we had any, if anybody's got any pictures or anything, let us know. Send them over to us or email them or our Facebook page. Multitude of ways that you can send over some of that activity or pictures of that shelf cloud coming in. I'm sure is a pretty good view in both Springfield and Decatur. But we may start to lose some of the definition to that here before too long. Looks like Jacob is...
Looks like there's on Twitter, we've got a picture of some power lines down and some tree damage on the intersection of Oberlin Avenue and 10th Street in Springfield.
Okay, so a few trees down, power lines down over there. Probably got some power outages as a result.
I'll check that out.
So again, see this line? It is kind of breaking up a little bit, at least on this kind of northern edge of this. If they continue a warning, I could see them maybe continuing the warning down here. Maybe not so much up here. So Piatt County, Moultrie County, maybe you get out from getting a warning on this, but we'll see. There it is now. Going to come right there into the Dalton City area. It's coming into Long Creek right now. LaPlace, down to Lake City and Cerro Gordo. kick back over to Jacob's view. He's got that nice shelf definition to the cloud. As he is continuing to maneuver his way, stay ahead of the storm, the line as it kind of comes through. Again, no tornado warnings in effect. We've got a handful of counties still under a severe thunderstorm warning. But we will see if they even carry that off to the east. They have yet to issue anything further to the east of Macon and northwestern Shelby County, so nothing for Moultrie and Piatt yet.
So the
he's in the Findlay area. He's in Findlay, so he is.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to show exactly his location there. So he is actually right down here, south of Bethany. So he's down in this location here in the Findlay area, just ahead of that shelf cloud. So that's why we were showing you the view that he had. So there's his water tower there.
There it is. I've got from Springfield, City Water, Light and Power.
Yes.
They have 282 customers without power, so not a whole lot. And then since they're not tracked on poweroutage.us, there's another 283 customers from Ameren that have lost power, but that's it. So we really don't have a whole lot of power outages out there, about 600.
Gotcha.
Give it a little less than 600 that have lost power as of right now.
Okay, very good. So we've got some power outages here. We're still seeing some indications of strong winds, at least on a portion of this line. And I would say that Pana down there, you guys have got, you know, because that little area is bowing out a little bit more here. Looks like they've trimmed back part of the severe thunderstorm watch now as well. Jack, I don't know if you can.
Oh, the watch they have?
Find. Well, I'm not sure. I got a cancellation of some counties. So it looks like on the far western, actually technically out of our viewing area, but they're starting to whittle away that watch, which again is an indication that not thinking a whole lot more after this.
Yeah, because that's kind of what we're saying, is that this probably kills really any more chances of severe weather later on today.
There's Jacob view from the storm tracker. Shelf cloud, he is in the Findlay area into northern Shelby County, right near the Shelby and Moultrie County line is his exact location. Right now from Pana, east of Nokomis. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick back over to my other radar here. Let's kind of show you, see how this area really kind of bows out.
And Jacob's on his way to Windsor.
On his way to Windsor, yep, sounds about right. So kind of bowing out there. So right there along Highway 51. So you get south of Pana, you get on 51. And little bowing right there. So Tower Hill, southwestern portions or western portions of Shelby County. There's Herrick and Cowden. And there's Shelbyville. The severe thunderstorm warnings that you see here, just a sliver of it left into Macon County, and stretching back to the south and west. So Jacob, again, it was in the Findlay area, and now is going to be heading towards Windsor. So he's trying to stay ahead of this line. So he is going to be heading down here to the Windsor area to try to get back ahead of this, and then maybe trying to follow along with what's going on with that. That's the strongest part of the entire line that you see right there near Pana. So he is up here. He is going to head down here to Windsor, and oops, zoomed in too much. And then be in position to watch as this guy comes in, and that eventually goes towards the Mattoon and Charleston areas as well, if this line would stay on its current path trajectory off there to the north and east.
So Jacob is right now. I think he's going over Lake Shelbyville.
Is he?
I would think.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on here. Let's see. Pull up his view. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I recognize that bridge. So yeah, he's just getting away from it. That way he can park and then get ahead of it again, and be able to get some good shots from that direction. But
All right, so we'll watch his camera view there. Not getting any indications from the Weather Service of anything, are we?
no, the warning, the severe thunderstorm warning that's left over still goes until 2 o'clock. So we've got still about 14 minutes left until that goes away.
Looks like another damage report. Jacksonville.
Oh yeah, power line and trees down. But that would have been around, it says 10:15 in the morning. So that was when, that was actually the storms that initially came in first over there, and they weakened very quickly by the time they got to Springfield, and now these are the new storms that took over.
So yeah, 10:15, and then the newest one there in Springfield. The southern view with the power lines and trees down in the roadway. Those are the storm damage reports we've had so far. Looks like a wind gust report down there as well. All right, back to the radar view. As we bring it back here, again, still that definite weakening. Just some heavy rainfall there. Just moved through Mount Zion, Dalton City, come into Cerro Gordo and La Place.
What do our Champaign cameras look like, or
It's
Charleston Mattoon? Or
yeah, let's see here. Let's see what we got. We're going to switch over our camera views here. Let's check out, first off, Charleston's view. And you can see the storms here from Charleston and then down to the Mattoon area as well. That's the view there. So that one will probably have a little better view. And then we'll take a look at our studio shot, and we're going to have to reposition our camera a little bit here. We'll position it more to the west. So while I position that, we'll give you the shot from Jacob's camera once again, because it's kind of a cool shot from his view.
Always good when we can use a storm tracker. Just love that thing. Really not much in the way of any hail out there, which is at least good to see. Good to know. Just a couple little spots that might be kind of right around the Pana area, kind of right around 51, but it's of the smallest variety. So this is definitely just more of your wind type of event for today.
Not seeing much on our cameras here. I've got our Champaign camera again. You kind of see maybe off in the distance something, but not a whole lot from our view there. So we'll stick with Jacob, who's down there, going to be getting his positioning completed down there near Windsor.
And then with the velocity, it looks like our winds might actually be the strongest now out of the warm area.
They are.
So that might be, and the fact that nothing else has happened yet might show that might be below criteria.
So that the strongest winds just passed through between Mount Zion and Long Creek, and are now going to be there between Cerro Gordo and Hammond. So what we're looking at here are that color right there. Radar estimation is about 50-mile-an-hour winds, so it's actually below the severe criteria. But this is your strongest winds right there. So if you go all the way down in here, that's going to be just north of, that's 36. And there's the Piatt, Macon, and Moultrie County line. It's almost on the corner of all of those is where some of that is. It's going to cross over Highway 32, coming south out of Cerro Gordo. And again, pass there between probably Cerro Gordo and Hammond, where the strongest winds are, maybe eventually there south of the Bement area. But right now, there's the view. You can kind of still see That kind of lines up. See the darker reds there? Switch over the velocity. You got some of the reds there from the winds. And while the rest of that storm, especially south of it, Dalton City, west of Bethany, Findlay, not looking too bad. So again, as Jacob repositions himself there and gets out ahead of this, east of Shelbyville and eventually over towards the Windsor area, he'll watch this line, which you see here, start to move in. There's his view from the storm tracker. Coming into parts of central Illinois to almost approaching 2 o'clock here.
Yeah, there's not as much in the way of lightning either. It looks like the line really is starting to break apart too. There may not be much more in the way of warnings after 2 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll see if there's even any instability out there.
Yeah, all the storms kind of clustered by around Vandalia in Fayette County. That's probably our strongest little portion of it right now, to be honest.
Instability really lacks east of I-57 as I'm looking at some mesoscale stuff here.
Okay.
Just not as much as what we had near I-55.
There's a lot more sin over there.
Yeah,
Yep.
yes.
Convective inhibition is what we call it, but we call it sin in the weather world.
A little bit of sin. All right, back over the radar view once again. Here's the view of our storms that are, again, continuing to weaken considerably. We're still just going to watch this here. So they've obviously not carried the warning into Piatt County or Moultrie County. Strongest part actually going to be probably down here, coming into Tower Hill and eventually Shelbyville along Highway 16, where Jacob is most likely driving on as we speak. So let's see here. Just a few wind damage reports, not a whole lot more. Thanks to all of you who've been watching our live streaming coverage as we keep you guys up to date on what to expect. If anybody did get any wind damage or anything, feel free to pass that along to us and let us know. All right, here's another view from the storm tracker. Back to our camera view here. That's Champaign. I want to go back over to our Mattoon camera and take a look. And then we'll go to the storm tracker. So there's Mattoon. And then back over to the storm tracker where Jacob is located, as he's getting a little bit ahead of it now. So you're losing some of that definition of that shelf cloud, but he will reposition here probably in the next 10 minutes or so, and then you'll have that beautiful view of the shelf cloud as it moves in. And just as I say that, there he goes to reposition. Switches the camera view back around. And there she is. We'll let him get in the perfect position and then bring you back to his gorgeous shot here in a moment. So again, his location is probably going to be somewhere in this general area. And he'll be looking off to the west as this storm comes in.
The only pictures I've seen as of right now have just been the ones that you showed of Jacob's. I'm not really seeing very much.
So here's a big, long, wide view of that whole line. Notice how it was a lot more deeper, darker red, closer to I-55.
And Jacob just said he's a few miles north.
He's north of Windsor. Why does that boy get around? I tell you. All right, so he's north of Windsor. So he's up here. Oops. So we must be up in this general area right there. That's what I said. He's now a good distance there from that shelf. That shelf cloud's now
So he'll have a
20 miles away from him.
Yeah.
So his view, and I'll show it to you, will get better as time goes on. But that is his view as that line of storms moves in. All right, Christian, Macon, Shelby warning has expired. So that's pretty much no other warnings that we've got here right now. So no other warnings in effect. Christian, Macon, and Shelby warnings have been dropped. So that goes along with what we were thinking. We'll let you watch the view here from our camera angle from Jacob Dickey in the Storm Tracker. And we will let you watch that. We're going to take a brief break here, and we'll pop back on if any other warnings get issued. And we'll continue to keep you up to date on what to expect as we go throughout tonight. Approaching 2 o'clock Thursday night, and still watching the storms, but nothing major right now.
So, all right, so meteorologist Jacob Dickey here. I know they've muted the microphone back there. They're going to toss it out to me for a little bit. We'll show you a little bit about what's going on here. Earlier, we showed you some photos from this storm over by US 51. It looks much less impressive now. Kevin mentioned the instability values have come down as you get closer to I-57 into the east. That's very much the case here. The base of the storm much higher up than it was before. Just does not look nearly as impressive definition-wise. And the shelf itself, you're seeing not really even there much more. It's breaking apart. So this storm definitely losing its This is that northern storm. We're going to drive to the south. That direction to south, I can see Windsor over here. And up this is up when you take up to Sullivan. So we're on this north-south road. Eventually get down to Strasburg, Seward, and Effingham on this road here. But this storm, not nearly as impressive. We're going to be watching this storm more to the south. That maybe has my interest a little more. But it seems like this messy event happening today where not a lot of things coming together. We've got this batch coming through. Yeah, there's a low chance. And we've had a couple of damage reports from Jacksonville and in Springfield. But for the most part, from what I look at this storm here, from Shelby County, that's nearly as impressive here. Those instability values have come down a bit. So just wanted to check in since I'm here in the storm tracker. We're going to drop south to Windsor and maybe make our way a little more east and south and watch Effingham, Clark, Jasper County, and places like that here over the next couple hours. So I'm going to sign off. We'll set it back in the studio. I think you guys are back there just kind of letting things ride on mute. But we'll watch it. We'll keep you updated. Just wanted to give you an update on what's going on out here in the storm tracker. Reporting here north of Windsor, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey.